Iraq together?
Yeah, we was in Iraq.
What did you do?
We was looking for weapons of mass destruction.
Did you ever find them?
You know goddamn well we ain't find them. What are you, some kind of political humorist? You Gary Trudeau up in this bitch?
I was looking for bitches, but they had that carpet shit all over them and I couldn't see what they looked like. All that was really exposed was the eyes, and that wasn't enough for me, cause you know, shit, I'm looking at the eyes can be pretty, and I take that carpet off, and then I got a tragedy.
Well, no, we ain't fine. But I always say the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
What?
Simply because you don't have evidence that something does exist does not mean that you have evidence that something doesn't exist.
What?
What country you from?
What?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English in what?
What?
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
Yeah.
So you understand the words I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
What?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more time.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Heavenly, and today I wanted to talk about something that's really important. I don't know, right? Every time I try to record, something is in my eye. Saboteurs. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something that recently came up like within the week for me, and I just wanted to kind of touch on it because I found it was like very profound, and you know, this is just an aspect of spirituality that we oftentimes are probably not aware of, and I haven't really heard anyone else talk about it besides like Bashar or like Abraham Hicks and things like that. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So what I wanted to talk about is when we are focusing on our desires and we're imagining and we're visualizing and we're doing all of these techniques. And again, I want to note that, you know, doing techniques and meditations and affirmations, you know, they're not all bad, but it's a way that we all, I think the collective, even myself, have been doing them. And it's a way that we've been doing them that oftentimes we tend to overlook the manifestation when it does appear, because everything does materialize, everything does appear before us, everything eventually comes. So yeah. But the topic of today is when we focusing on lack, we tend to overlook the abundant ways, or the abundantness or something like that, you know, the abundant ways that the universe has, the various ways the universe has to bring us our desires, right? Because we're just focused on lack. And what I mean by that is like, for example, let's say that I wanted to buy a house, right? And because I wanted to buy a house, the first thing you think that you need to buy a house is money. Now, of course, anyone's logical mind, the limited mind, would think, yes, you need money to buy a house. A house costs money, right? But let's say I don't have the money. You don't have the money, right? And so you think automatically, from the programming that we have already endured, that buying a house is already out of the question for you simply because you don't have money, right? Now I want you to stay with me here. So because of that lack, and because I'm automatically focused on the lack of not having the money, I automatically take myself out of that desire. I already deem that desire, or deem myself unworthy and undeserving of having a house because I don't have X amount of dollars to buy a house, right? Or you don't have X amount of credit score to buy a house, you know, because I know there's a lot of things that go into buying a home, by being financially secure, having enough money, having enough income, all of these things, you know, rational, when we're thinking rationally. And this is where we tend to focus on the lack, and the lack being, I don't have enough of this, I don't have that, my credit score isn't this, or I'm not in the area where I want to be, you know, things like that. So that's the topic of today. And the way, the reason why we do this is because our limited mind is trying to be rational, right? It's trying to work out the problem. It's trying to say, okay, well, we want to buy a house, right? Then how do we do that? You know, and it goes around all the reasons of how we do that. But when it comes to the universe isn't thinking about, oh, you don't have this. So the universe says yes. And we all know that the universe only says yes. The universe never says no. And the universe, oh, you're not ready. Oh, you don't have this. Oh, you don't have that. That's us. We put these limitations on ourselves and then become upset and feel some type of way about our desires because we take ourselves out of that take ourselves out of that deserving feeling. And so to combat this, I think about think about all the ways people have gotten homes when they don't have money, right? So think about all the ways that it's possible to get a home when you don't have money. So if I was focusing on the lack, I would only focus on lack, and I would forever have this wanting feeling of, oh, I want this house, but I don't have enough money, right? But let's say I said I wanted a house, right? And even though I know I don't have these things, I'm not going to focus on that. The trick to overcoming this is saturating the mind with endless possibilities helps the materialization of our desires. And when I say endless possibilities, excuse me, sorry for all of this like grunting. My house is very dusty and I'm having allergies, so excuse that. I'm just trying to clear my throat. Okay. But so when I say saturate the mind with endless possibilities, think about all the ways you can get a house without having to come out of pocket yourself. So like, for example, if I wanted to buy a house and I know I don't have the money, I could easily, you hear about people who give homes for free, like, or, programs where they give away homes, or sweepstakes where they give away homes to people. You can win a house. Or about people who have, people buy homes for them. Like, let's say you are a man or a woman and you got married and your partner decides to buy you a home. That's another way you got a home without having to have the credit score or the money. And all of these things, you could inherit a home, someone could give you a home. They have websites where they house swap, where the house you're living in now, you can swap with someone else, or, you can move into a home and, things of that nature. So, and the reason why I say saturate your mind with endless possibilities is because oftentimes we get so caught up in the lack that we forget to think about these things that happen every day to people. So I oftentimes go and look up success stories. I oftentimes read articles about people who got this, or people who, things that are out of the ordinary, or like people who live in Bali, and are able to afford, and people who leave the United States and go live in other countries, people who buy houses in Italy from the United States, people who have traveled all around the world for free now, influencers and things of that nature. So people who win the lottery and automatically they're able to buy a home, people who inherit homes, and people who have their partners build brand new homes for them, build their dream home or renovate their dream home. There's a lot of channels out there on YouTube specifically of like couples who like buy their dream home and start to renovate it, all kinds of things. So but by saturating your mind with endless possibilities of ways to get to that desire without needing money, taking money out of the center of it all, this allows one to tap into their birthright of abundance. Okay, so you're born with the birthright of abundance, wealth, prosperity, riches, peace, like all of these things, because that's all what source is. The source is everything. All of these things were given to you. If you were born in God's likeness and in his image, and God is everything and God is everywhere, then you are automatically born with these rights, these natural rights, right? And so when we focus on not having enough, this oftentimes put limitations on ourselves and may block or delay our own blessings because we are too focused on lack of not having enough money. And even now I'm at a point in my life where I am decentering money, because if you already don't have it, it's no point in focusing on not having it. You know what I mean? Or not having enough, or feeling like you don't make enough money. Like you could actively have a job and not be making enough to do the things that you would like to do or want to do. And so by decentering money, like you got to decenter man, you take the focus off of that. And what that does is it's like you have a spotlight that is broad, but you've been focusing on this one point. And so instead of focusing on it one point, you take it off that point and it just opens up a world of possibilities. Okay, stay with me. By doing this, I also suggest to people sometimes read success stories, read articles about people who are making like 6 figures a month, or 6 figures a year, and read success stories of lottery winners and how it happens in everyday life. Because there is magic in the mundane, there is magic in the details, but you are the magic. Don't think it's something outside of you. No, you are the magic. And when we go about our days, we, oftentimes get into these slumps of feeling like just not enough. And that's not true. You were not born not enough, because if you were not enough, you wouldn't have been able to come through. You wouldn't actually have been born. It takes 9 months to complete a birth. So if you were not enough, you would not have even made it to this life, to this completion, to this wholeness, And like, for example, as a child, being around my childhood friends, I'm telling a little backstory here, okay? I remember this one time I was in middle school. I was in 8th grade, and I had a friend of mine who she was raised by her dad, and her dad would come pick her up from school. And so one day me and her we're hanging out after school, and her dad came and picked us up. Now my mother worked a lot and she did not have a car, so her father, the girl's father, gave me a ride home. But before he gave me a ride home, we stopped off at Taco Bell. And now I'm like, oh my God, Taco Bell. You know, to me, like, I grew up in the 2000s, so I'm a 99 baby. So I grew up in the 2000s, and, you know, the 2010s, that was my childhood. So for me, when going to fast food and stuff, that was like a treat because you didn't get to go often. And so this one time, it was me and the girl's dad. We went to Taco Bell. It was like down the street from our middle school. And I remember I'm thinking, oh, I want something, but I don't have money, right? So I'm automatically thinking like, oh, I'm not gonna get nothing. Like, you know, I'm used to thinking like, okay, well, this is her father. I'm not thinking like he's gonna get me anything. You know, this is my first time meeting her father as well. So I'm just expecting him to get something for his child, and, you know, that be that. And so, because I think she was the one who wanted to go. And she was very spoiled, okay? Very spoiled. Her daddy got her everything. I mean, this girl had gauges in the 8th grade, okay? Very emo, you know, that was just, you know, the thing. So we went to the Taco Bell. We was in the drive-thru. And as we was in the drive-thru, her father asks me if I want anything. So automatically, I didn't even think about it. Automatically, I'm like, I don't have any money. Of course. I'm in 8th grade. I'm an 8th grader. I'm 14. Of course I don't have any money. Like, who would expect an 8th grader to have money? And he was like, I didn't ask you that. I asked you if you want something. And I'm like, oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I just want a Baja Blast. You know, that's really all that I wanted. And he paid for it. He got me a Baja Blast and he paid for it. But that was just something that I thought about as far as like, I'm sitting over here focused on the lack of not having money, and the abundance of around me was that this person was willing, already knowing I don't have money because I am a child. Who expects children to have money? Obviously me. And he bought me something. He was already going to get me something because, of course, first of all, I just respect that, her father, because don't get me wrong, I've been around people who have children whose parents are with us, or I'm with their parents, and they only get something for their child and not like the other kids that are with them. Now, for me, I guess I was just a very understanding child, and, you know, I knew, like, if people had it, they would, and if they didn't, they couldn't, you know, kind of thing. So I never really, you know, expected people to take care of me, you know, but as I should. I am a child. You know what I mean? Like, I should expect that people would, you know, buy me things and, you know, expect for me to not have money and expect to take care of me. I don't know. I just didn't grow up with that expectation. I grew up with the expectation of, if I could get it, great. If I couldn't, you know, maybe next time, it's okay. Or maybe that's just not for me. And, you know, I grew up in that lack mentality of just not having enough. And I was just programmed as a child to just be okay with that. Just be okay with just not having it, just not having the money, just not having the time, just not, you know, and I just been conditioned to, you know, and, you know, maybe on the surface I was okay with it, but deep down I really wasn't, you know. But I was very happy, and it made me think of another time that something happened. But before I go to the next story, I just want to say, like, because I was focused on lack, I could not see the fact that this person was already willing to buy me something by the fact that they asked me what I wanted. You know? And we're at Taco Bell. It's not like he's spinning a grip. You know what I mean? We're talking about $3 at the most, you know? So yeah. And the next situation I wanted to talk about is, I was a little younger. So this had to be like 6th or 7th grade. I had a friend of mine whose, family had a family member, like an aunt or it was like an aunt or something. They had a timeshare. First of all, I didn't even know what a timeshare was, but they had a timeshare, and it was like it was somewhere in Illinois. I'm not really sure where, probably like up north, because it was like near like a lake and things like that, but they had a timeshare. And so one year this girl decided to have a birthday party at the timeshare. And now I had been to the timeshare before with her. So I had been to the timeshare once because I was just like spending the night, like just spending, like, this was back in the day where you could spend the night at kids' houses. I mean, I used to do it, but not often, but for the most time I had sleepovers and I never had no issues. But so I had already been to the timeshare before with her family. I was spending the night at her house, and her aunt had to go to the timeshare, and so her mom just drove us out there. It was actually really close to where we were. I just don't know where it was. But then she decided to have her birthday party there later that year. So me being friends with her, I went to the birthday party. So we went to the timeshare, and it was like great. Her mom like bought all the food. Like she didn't say, oh, y'all parents gotta like bring money, or y'all parents gotta give y'all money. And it was none of that. Her mom bought all the food, you know, all the stuff we needed for the timeshare, things like that. And then when we left the timeshare, we went to Cracker Barrel. So I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting to go to Cracker Barrel. First of all, I've never been to Cracker Barrel a day in my life up until this point. So again, not expecting anything. So we go to Cracker Barrel and her mom's like, yeah, y'all can get whatever y'all want. Mind you, it's not just me. It's her daughter. It's her little sister. It's the girl's daughter. It's my friend. It's her little sister. It's me. It's like the twins was with us. And then it was like another girl. So it was like maybe like 5 of us. You know, and her mother brought her, so it was a lot of us, you know, so, and her mom, like, paid for all of us to, you know, we got whatever we wanted at Cracker Barrel, and, you know, not once did she say, like, yeah, I wanted, like, y'all parents got to give y'all money to come, because we're going to be going to do this and this, like, no, she didn't do any of that. She just, and to me as a child, first of all, we didn't go on vacations, we, you know, did what we could, because my mom was a single parent, you know, and we had what fun we could have. So for me, seeing this girl's mother, like, take all of us to Cracker Barrel and buy us whatever we wanted, it was just crazy. Like, to me, that was rich. Now, by no means is this girl rich, but to me, that was rich. She had a 2-parent household, you know, and to me, it just screamed like, oh girl, your mom got money, you know, because she just, you know, but it's things like that I realize that I am surrounded by so much abundance at all times. At all times, you are surrounded. We are all surrounded because the universe is abundant naturally. So, and therefore, if we are God and we are made in his likeness and in his image and creators of our reality and all of this and that, and we're source and I am source and there is no other. I am God and there is no other. You know, if you watch Tom Caring, you know, if we're all of this, then yes, we are abundant. And there is so many ways for us to get the things that we want naturally. You don't have to do a thing. In both of those scenarios, I didn't have to do a thing. I didn't have to beg for it. I didn't have to manipulate. I didn't have to coerce nobody. I didn't have to ask. I was so unassuming that it just slapped me in the face. The abundance slapped me in the face because I wasn't even looking for it. I wasn't even assuming. I wasn't even aware, you know, of these things. So yeah. And so for me, myself, I'm just at this point in my life where I'm unlearning a lot of these things. And by all means, I don't like hold any grudges or, you know, because all of it brought me to this point of realizing, no, I'm abundant, no, I'm deserving, no, I'm worthy of whatever I want, and, you know, but that's why I'm making this video, is to prove the point of prosperity and abundance and wealth are all birthrights. All of our birthrights, natural birthrights. If you're born and you exist, these things are for you. These things are for you. If you're living here on earth, you deserve anything your heart desires. You deserve prosperity, you deserve peace, you deserve abundance, you deserve riches, you deserve wealth. It's not nothing that's just for a certain set of people. It's not for the people who work hard. It's not for the people who were born into it. It's not for the people who, it's for everybody. It's for everybody. Because your dreams and your desires never required you to have money to desire them. Your dream, let me say that again for the people in the back. Your dreams and your desires never required you to have money to desire them. None of them. Every time you have a dream, you don't got to stick 25 cents in to get the dream. Anytime you have a desire, you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay for it. Nothing comes out of your pocket. You ain't got to sacrifice nothing. You don't have to give up anything. If anything, only thing you're sacrificing is your doubt. If anything, only thing you're sacrificing is your negative beliefs, limiting beliefs. Is your urge to say that ain't for me? No, it is for you. Even me, I had said, oh, if it's not for me, it's not. No. If it's for me, it's for me. If I say it's for me, it's for me. You know, now the universe, now the God, now the powers that be, the unseen forces, because I gotta make sure I can say this. We can only see 1% of the light spectrum. We can only see a very small amount of the light spectrum, meaning that there's 99.9% of stuff that we can't even see, we can't even fathom, we can't even perceive. Those are the unseen forces. Those are unseen forces. That's the dark matter in the universe that scientists and physicists and they don't know what it is. It's unforeseen forces. I mean, not unforeseen. It's unseen forces. Unseen forces that are working for you, that are here for you, that want to help you get to what. Come on. So, yeah, we put limitations on ourselves. Sorry, video cut out. But yeah, so we put those limitations on ourselves. So now that is all we experience. The lack of what we don't have, so we can't have the experiences we desire. So this is why I'm saying you have to decenter money. Yes, money is nice to have. Yes, it is cool to have. Yes, it'll be great. It'll make things a lot more convenient. But if I should say this, you don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. Also, I want to add this tidbit in. If you are into astrology, we all know the 3 money houses in astrology. Okay, it's the second house. The second house in astrology, which is ruled by Taurus, is the money that you make, is the possessions and the materials that you acquire, right? So Aries is I am. It's the first sign. It's the I am, the being, the identity, personality, all that. Taurus is I have. Okay, so Taurus is all the things that you acquire. So imagine astrology and all the 12 zodiac signs as evolutions throughout life. So I am. Aries is the baby, is the I am. It's your incarnation. It's who your spirit, your personality. You do whatever because you're on go mode, because you're here to experience, right? That's the desire of the spirit. That's why spirit wants to have a human experience. Taurus is the second sign, which is the I have. So Taurus represents everything. Taurus is the earth sign. Taurus represents all the material, that physical stuff, because Taurus is also a fixed sign. So it's all the hardcore physical stuff, which physical things aren't even physical. They're just atoms that move so slow that they appear to be solid. So, but Taurus is the I have, which is the first money house. So all the things that you can acquire, all the physical materials, assets that you can acquire, that's Taurus, the I have, right? The second money house is Scorpio. Scorpio is what you can get from other people. So Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus. So if Taurus is I have, Scorpio is what I can get. Okay, what can I get from other people? So Taurus is like my money. Scorpio is other people's money. So Scorpio is, okay, what can I get from you? Scorpio is how much access do I have to other people's money? How much can I gain from others, right? The third money house is Aquarius, which is the 11th house. Oh, sorry. Scorpio is the 8th house. So opposite 8th in the second and 8th house are opposite. Taurus and Scorpios are opposite. Sister signs, if you want to call it that, but just opposite houses of what I have versus what I can get from others. Aquarius, which is the 11th house, is gains, career gains, gains throughout life, gains from like colleagues or communities that you're a part of, gains from like career, because it's after Capricorn, and Capricorn is like the top of the ladder. So you like climbing a corporate ladder at the top. Capricorn is like CEO. So okay, so Capricorn is the 10th house. So Capricorn is like, okay, I get to the top of the mountain, I'm CEO, I didn't made it, you know, and now the 11th house is what I've gained from that. What did I gain from being CEO? What did I gain from climbing the corporate ladder? The legacy, the reputation. I know. My mom's over here. She's like, oh, I'm gonna get a second car. I'm like, mind you, we have never been a 2-car household until I was like 21 and I got my own car, right? So I'm over here like, and my mom's like, yeah, you can drive the other one. And I'm over here like, oh, okay. Well, if you want a second car, she's like, yeah, you can drive it, you know, whenever you need it, you know, because we do need 2 cars, you know. I'm like, yeah, Ma, you're right. And then it hit me. Does it matter what the car or where the car came from? You got the roof over your head. You got the reliable transportation. Well, there you go. It's like, but in my mind, now does that mean that the car that I actually wanted, and will I never get it? No, it does not mean that. But it means for the time being, right now, the things that I asked for are here. They are appearing. They are materializing. They are coming about. They're just not coming about from me. You know what I mean? Like the things that are happening, I in my imaginal mind, I wanted to do it all on my own. I wanted my own money. I wanted to buy my own car. I wanted to get my own crib. You know. Now, I still got to that desire. That desire still manifested. It just didn't come the way that I personally would have preferred. But does that mean that it will never happen? No. It just means that at this moment in time, the thing that I am desiring is materializing. It's appearing right here before my eyes. But because it's not the way that I, in my limited mind, thought, I'm overlooking it. In reality, no, it's here. It's coming. It's here. The roof is over my head. The car is on the way. You know, it may not be my car, but it is a car. It's a running car that I get to drive. That's, you know, so... yeah. Okay. So, once you reach that point of excitement, drop the idea so that the best possible outcome to the same goal can come forth and appear. Because oftentimes we get exactly what we want, but it comes differently than how our limited perception imagined it. Therefore, we believe we did not get what we wanted, or it's not right for us. When in reality, our desires came in a way that our source of ourselves thought best from our point of attraction. Okay. Yes. So I'm just gonna leave that with you and everything, and I'll make sure we're gonna link the video in the description of Bashar, and everything, and. Yeah, so, and I got some more videos planned, so stay tuned. And yeah, so yeah, don't focus on lack, decent or money. Thanks for watching the video, and make sure you watch the other ones. Peace.